As a salesperson in any industry or any service, price comes up as a concern for a lot of buyers. And what you find is there are multiple different ways for you to walk through concerns, aka objections, from the people you meet with. So what's the right way for you to work through price objections and heating and air sales, and why does it matter? This is a fantastic question. I'm Scott Bell, coming to you live for HVAC Technician Sales Secrets on a perfect day to talk about sales and business, and a fantastic day to talk about you. Coming to you live from Sacramento Delta. This video is powered by sellingtechnicians.com, the most awesome website on the planet. So when you take a look at what are the ways that you could work through price objections in heating and air conditioning sales training, there's like 5 common ways that a lot of people profess and a lot of people teach. And then there's going to be the 7 ways that I'm going to share with you to walk through price concerns, aka objections. And so I will hands down tell you, point out that the most common way that most people deal with price concerns is going to be a discount in whatever form. A discount, they're like, company A is at, 12,000 and your company B and you're at 13. So you meet them in the middle. It's going to come down to a little bit of arm wrestling, not a body slam. And you're going to get to the point where you're like, okay, I'm good. We can both work with this. Okay. Number 2 is price matching. The thing that just when somebody's like price match, I'm like that's the least viable option. It's the easiest one to try to do, but it also comes with a lot of problems. You start price matching stuff, you've deleted all the value. You're giving somebody permission to be a pain in your butt pretty much for the rest of the time that they have your product or service. Like I can think of the times where price match early on in my career, and I'm like, I could point out houses and drive by them still. I'm like, that guy, right? Could give you names. Number 3, upgrades for equipment. So instead of giving a discount, there are people who will say, instead of a 80% furnace, I can get you a 90 or a 92 or a 94 or a 97 or 100, whatever, I don't know, whatever number you're going to use. You could use upgrades for bonuses. You could say, hey, listen, in order to do this, we will take you and we will get you an air scrubber, or we will throw in a longer warranty, or we'll get you our smart home package. They're all ways that you could absolutely close the deal. I'm just telling you they're not my favorite. Number 5 is the next spot discount. It's a law of price and terms. You set the price, I set the terms. Scott, you have a system for $15,000. I'm only willing to pay $12,500. I could do that, but it's got to go in tomorrow, right? It's the banter. It's the negotiation back and forth. And these are the 5 most common ways that you're going to see. Now, I'm going to introduce you to 7 ways that are possible different than what you're expecting for dealing with price objections, okay? I learned this one from Grant Cardone, Uncle G. Take items away. Hey, listen, we're at 15 grand and you want to pay 12.5. We are going to have to take some stuff from this project. We're going to have to not do what we're going to do. Number 2 is going to be similar. We're going to just move you down a product line. Let's take you from one product line to another. You're in the middle. Well, yeah, I can meet you at that $12,500 price, but we're gonna get you a standard system with standard warranty and the most basic pieces of equipment. These are all the things that you tell me that you wanted, so this is what we're gonna do. Number 3, go for monthly payments. Right? There's a way to say, let's find a way for you to do some sort of easy payment plan, which at the end of the day, this should be offered on every sales call to begin with anyway, right? And it's easy to do. And then if you're going to do which is number 4, if you're going to do easy payment plans, then what you could do is the reduction to the ridiculous. This is what it's called. And if you listen to old Tommy Hopkins or Zig Ziglar or J. Douglas Edwards, they're like, you can get everything you want for the cost of a cup of coffee. Or, when you take a look at what I am at versus what somebody else is at, we're talking about $1,000 over the lifetime of the unit. And your unit's supposed to last 15 years. So we're going to take 1,000 divided by 15, and we're going to divide that again by 12. And it's for 87 cents a day, you can have the system that you really wanted. Or for 52 cents a day, you could have the system that you really wanted. Is it really worth you going out and trying to get what this guy's trying to tell you that you could do for on the cheap end for so less? Number 5, remove warranties and guarantees. Like, there's people who say, hey, look, Scott, they would tell me, they would say, hey, I don't care about the guarantee. This guarantee doesn't matter to me. And I'm like, great, we're taking it out then. What do you think it's worth? What do you think that guarantee, like, it doesn't matter what I think it's worth. What do you think it's worth? And then, like, sometimes it was a conversation, and through having that conversation, you got to re-explain why that warranty or guarantee is important. Don't just give them up. Like, you're in a sales process, friend, amigo, pal, buddy, chief. You're in it. Like, it just because, like, it's easy for me to say this doesn't mean that's how you do it. Okay. Number 6, explain the cost of waiting and missing out. So it would always, like, I worked at a company that they would have monthly specials and they would have quarterly specials. And I would warn people, like, hey, listen, end of the month, they're going to change this. I'm not going to have this opportunity anymore. Not fake. I've got a letter from the owner, right? We abide by all the rules, all the FCC rules. And as soon as this special is over, I can't get it back. They're not going to allow me to do it. This isn't fake. This isn't phony. This isn't made up. You call me back and say, hey, I want that special. I can't. It's over. And so you could use the cost of waiting. Like, we're not going to run the special again. We're not, this special, it's not going to happen. And if it does, it'll happen, we're July of this year. It's probably not going to happen until July of next year. And then you miss out on all the energy savings. And then you miss out on all the aggravation tax of having to have a system repaired in the middle of the summer when it breaks down again. Because it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Okay. And then number 7 is kind of similar, is explaining the cost of their lost time. So me, I don't like taking time off from what I do. So projects that I'm working on, somebody could probably come by and work at the house while I'm working, but I don't want to have to, like, let me go explain, let me go show you where everything's at. Let's walk through this again. Let's have this conversation. But what you're going to find is some of what I shared with you may be out of your comfort zone. And you're like, oh, I never considered that. Some of you are like, I never considered that, and now I'm going to take that opportunity. I want to give you a little bit of a bonus section. For the ones that I shared with you for the 5, the discounts, price matching, upgrades for bonuses, and next spot discounts, how you talk about these things matter. I have a process called slow and low. It's not meant to be quick. It's not meant to be fast. We're not in a race. You're not Ricky Bobby. When you take a look at some of the best closers on the planet, they're just very calm. They're calm. They're confident. They're concise. And they're consistent. And so what happens is when you watch a closer role play and somebody throws a price at them, and like they kind of treat it like, okay, that's the one you're going to bring me. But they don't say it that way. They're like, yeah, I completely understand. I get it. Here's the thing. We've talked about everything that you wanted to do. We've explained what happens when you do it for less. I don't have that in there. Long pause. What we can do is we can remove some of these items. You wanted the thermostat that's got all the bells and whistles. We can go back to, what I refer to as a caveman thermostat that's got an on and off switch. You want this type of a discount for the type of install that you're going to get and the way that the guys are going to work. I mean, we could take out the warranties. We got to figure out what the value is to them though. But what I can't do is just take money off. We got people that have to be paid. We got services that have to be done. I don't have fairy tale pricing. I don't have the price that, like, all of a sudden I went from $27,000 to $12,000. I can remember a time where I sold a job and I was at $22,000. Okay, it was $22,000 for a hybrid package unit. And I closed it. I did everything I was supposed to, did all of my techniques, did all of my strategies. And I get this phone call at almost 11 o'clock at night. Scott, your competition came in and, they were at $24,000. They said if they can do the install tomorrow, they would give it to us for $12,000. You must believe in mythical creatures. Like, to take 50% off. And it wasn't an easy job. There was a lot of work that needed to be done. There was a brand new electrical circuit that needed to be ran. It was a tight fit. There was one specific package unit that would work. Like, I ran the numbers. I mean, they weren't even breaking even by the time you figure out labor. So they had fairy tale pricing. People were like, hey, Scott, it's $12,000. We're going to take that risk. We're going to take that gamble. Let me come by. Scott, it's 11 o'clock at night. I'm like, well, you called me. I'm 15 minutes away. I've got my clothes by the door. I'm just getting back from the gym. Like, let's have a conversation. I'll come over. At the end of the day, sometimes none of this stuff matters to people. At the end of the day, you could work through this process, and the only thing that they want to be is El Cheapo. So about 6 months later, I get a phone call. Hey, Scott, can you come by our house? We're these people, and we were going to get a system done for like the job that went in was a hack. They're like, well, yeah, Scott, the deal was just too good. So like sometimes, as a last note, you have to explain the cost of too good of a deal. There's a good deal, and then there's a point where it's like it's too good of a deal, and there's no way that it's true. You got one of three things to do from here. Just one of three. Find the subscribe button, click on it, and every time I send out a video, you'll get an update. 2, hit follow. 3, you know what you got to do. Share this video with a friend. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.